Welcome to Casa Academy Chapter 2, Part 4, where we will cover real estate license law and qualifications for licensure. Listen, I am so thrilled to guide you through this today because we're talking about exactly what it takes to keep that hard-earned real estate license of yours active, valid, and actually working for you. You put in a tremendous amount of effort to pass your initial exams, right? But passing that first test, well, it was really just the beginning of your professional journey.
Here at Casa Academy, we really want you to know that your education absolutely didn't end the moment you passed that initial exam. The Florida DPPR, that's the Department of Business and Professional Regulation, they mandate ongoing education to keep your license active. Right now, as a newly licensed professional, the clock is literally already ticking down to the expiration date printed right there on your physical license. This first renewal period, it's absolutely critical, and we're going to make sure you navigate it perfectly.
Okay, let's dive into this roadmap. First up, your post-license requirements. Number 2, sales associate versus broker. Third, the consequences of missing deadlines. And finally, the two-step renewal process.
Your post-license requirements.
So, let's establish the very first major milestone you're going to face immediately after getting licensed. This is your mandatory post-license course. And let me be clear, it is a totally non-negotiable requirement for your first renewal. But the DBPR does offer you some flexibility here. You can choose to knock this out either online or in a traditional classroom setting. Whatever fits your learning style best. Now, you do have to take an end-of-course exam for this specific curriculum, but here's the massive sigh of relief I know you've been waiting for. There is absolutely no additional state exam required for this first renewal. You heard that right. You take the course, pass the class exam, and you are totally clear of the state testing center.
Huge win.
Now, don't let your guard down just because there isn't a state exam. To pass this required end-of-course exam, you still have to achieve a score of 75% or higher. It's a strict benchmark. You really need to absorb the material, study diligently, and hit that 75% mark to successfully check this requirement off your list.
Section 2. Sales Associate versus Broker.
Moving into this next section, the exact number of hours you need to complete depends entirely on which type of real estate license you currently hold. If you're a new sales associate, you've got to knock out a 45-hour post-license course before your initial expiration date. On the flip side, if you're a newly licensed broker, well, the state requires a bit more from you. You're on the hook for a 60-hour post-license course before your first renewal deadline. The paths are distinctly different, so it is absolutely vital you register for the correct course track for your specific license type. I really cannot emphasize this next point enough. The safest approach to all of this is completing your coursework as soon as possible after getting licensed. Oh, and before I forget, your verification code is 487771. Make sure you jot that down for your records. Anyway, do not wait for the deadline to approach. Life happens, right? Technical glitches pop up out of nowhere, and procrastination is just the absolute enemy of a stressful renewal. Get it done early and enjoy the peace of mind.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide, Section 3, Consequences of Missing Deadlines.
We're pivoting to the darker side of license law here because the DBPR is incredibly unforgiving when it comes to letting that ticking clock run out. If you are a sales associate and you fail to complete your 45-hour course before the expiration date on your license status instantly becomes null and void. Take a second to let that sink in. Null and void means your license is completely invalid. You instantly lose your livelihood and the legal ability to practice real estate. To get back in the game, you'd literally have to start the entire licensing process over from scratch. I'm talking retaking the pre-license course, submitting new fingerprints, and passing that brutal initial state exam all over again. It is a catastrophic scenario, but the good news is it's entirely preventable.
Now for brokers, the state offers a slightly different, though honestly still pretty painful, consequence. If a broker misses their 60-hour deadline, their broker license expires. But they can downgrade and revert to an active sales associate status. To do this, they have to complete a 14-hour continuing education course within 6 months of the expiration. But look closely at the requirement to fix this permanently. If they ever want that broker badge back, no way around it. They have to completely retake the 72-hour broker pre-license course and pass the state broker exam all over again. Either way, missing the deadline is an incredibly expensive and time-consuming mistake.
Section 4. The two-step renewal process.
So, the crucial point is, let's bring the tension down a bit and look at the simple, foolproof method to ensure you never have to face those professional consequences. Keeping your license active is exactly a two-step process. Step 1, as we've discussed at length, is successfully completing your required education, whether that's the 45-hour or 60-hour course, and passing the end-of-course exam. But finishing the class is not enough on its own. Step 2 requires you to actually submit your application and pay the renewal fee to the state. Only when the state receives that fee is your license officially activated for its next cycle. Please do not forget Step 2.
We've covered exactly what you need to do, the differences based on your license type, and the severe penalties for ignoring the calendar. Your post-license education is basically the bridge between earning your license and building a lasting career. So I leave you with this final thought as we wrap up today. Knowing exactly what is at stake, will you take action today to beat the clock or risk having to start your entire real estate journey from scratch? The choice is entirely in your hands.